Subtracting polynomials. I want you to pay attention to this message in the box that is on the right. It says that change the sign of every term in the second polynomial. So that's what we're going to do. I don't want you to get hung up on the fact that this is called subtracting polynomials. We're just going to call it combining them, just like yesterday. Okay? And what'd you get? So we are going to just change the sign in the second polynomial. 4c plus 7, and it's going to be written vertically, minus 3c plus 3. So what I really want you to do on these is just kind of ignore this out here. You're going to say that's a minus 3c, and you're going to say that's a minus 3. You're changing the signs in the second polynomial and combining them. So I have 4c, and I'm taking away 3.
So 1c?
1c, or it can just be c. 7, I have 7, and I'm taking away 3.
4.
Plus
so would it be
4.
plus 4? Okay.
Wait, how'd you get plus? Oh.
If I have 7 and I'm taking away 3, that's positive 4. Okay, this second problem, 2m plus 5. Be quiet.
Okay.
2m plus 5, and I'm subtracting negative 8m plus 1. So I'm going to ignore this. I'm going to change my negative 8m to plus 8m, and I'm going to change my 1 to a minus 1. 2m plus 8m. I've got 2. I'm gaining 8 more. 10m.
Plus 4.
I have 5, and I'm taking away 1 plus 4. So I have the next polynomial, 3x squared minus x, and I'm subtracting 3x minus 5. 3x squared minus x, and I'm subtracting 3x minus 5. So we said that we're going to ignore this first minus. If it is a 3x, we would make it a negative 3x. If it's a minus or negative 5, we would make it a positive 5. This one's lined up vertically, and there's some missing spots. That means it doesn't have matching partners or like terms, so you just bring down what's left. The 3x squared to begin with doesn't have a partner, so we would just bring down 3x squared. The negative x minus 3x more makes it negative 4x. And the 5 is by itself, so plus 5. So that one's 3x squared minus 4x plus 5. Usually I'd say the vertical problems are easier, but I'm thinking today you might appreciate the horizontal ones. And what I'm going to let you do is just write it in on your paper, not the way that it gives you the problem on the computer, but you can go ahead and change the signs right away. So for example, negative 6r plus 3 minus 7r plus 2, here's what I would do. I would look at that on the computer screen, and this is what I would write. Negative 6r plus 3, and then I look in my second parentheses. It's a positive 7r. I'm going to say minus 7r, and it says plus 2. I'm going to say minus 2, and then just combine my like terms. If I have negative 6r and I'm subtracting 7r more, negative 13r, and I've got 3 and I'm taking away 2, it's plus 1. So my answer on this one is negative 13r plus 1. Okay, so I'm going to go down to this 8f squared minus 7f minus 3. So I would write that 8f squared minus 7f minus 3. Okay, and then in the second parentheses, I've got a 2f, so I'm going to say minus 2f, and then I've got a plus 4, I'm going to make it a minus 4. And I just written that out horizontally, and now it's a matter of combining like terms. You start with the highest exponent. There's only one f squared term, so I'm going to go 8f squared, and then minus or negative 7f and negative 2f. So I'm in the whole 7. I go back 2 more. Negative 9f. And then I can combine my constants. I'm 3 in the whole, and I go back 4 more. Minus 7. Questions?
Why do we have to learn this?
On the next one, 6a squared plus 8. I would go ahead and write that. The second polynomial, just go ahead and change all signs. So I'm going to make it minus 7a squared minus 2a plus 5. And now it's a matter of just combining like terms. So I have 6a squared, and I'm going back 7. What's the result?
Negative 1.
Negative 1a squared. So I'm going to say negative a squared minus 2a plus 13.
Plus 13 there.
Yes, because you have 8 and you're adding 5 to it. And the last one, I have 9b squared plus 2, so I'm going to write that down as is. And then you change the signs of every term in the second polynomial, so plus b squared minus b minus 9. Give it.
You can't take my pencil away from me.
And then I'm going to combine like terms. So 9b squared plus b squared is 10b squared. I have a minus b. It's the only b term. And I have 2, and I'm taking away 9, so minus 7. So I would highly recommend on these today, just go ahead and write them out. Write the first polynomial the way it is. And then the second one, just write it down. Continue the problem and change the sign of each one, and then go back and combine like terms.